A hot summer day in Tehran. Busy streets, crowded sidewalks, and a large building that hides itself behind the sycamore trees in Shariati Street. A building that holds a part of Iran's cultural identity within itself. This is the magnificent TehranRezaAbbasiMuseum with relics that date back to nearly 6,000 years. One of the amazing features of the museum is its objects that are so unique and so intact that could rarely be seen in any other museum across Iran and in some cases in the world.
موزه رضا عباسی سال 56 تأسیس شد. تمامی اشیا از جنس‌های مختلف، دوره‌های مختلف، سفال، شیشه، فلز، توی این مجموعه همشون توی یک کلکسیون دست هم گرد هم اومدن و همه از دوره‌های مختلف هستن. مربوط به یک دوره خاص یا یک مقطع زمانی خاص نیست.
The museum is divided into 5 main sections that include a pre-Islamic hall, 2 Islamic-era sections, 1 hall dedicated to manuscripts, and most importantly, the painting section, which is the main reason that the museum was established at first place, named after Iran's renowned 17th century miniature painter Reza Abbasi, an artist who created a whole new school in miniature painting during the Safavid era. 3 of Reza Abbasi's paintings are kept in this museum. Unlike other miniature painters of his own time that dedicated their art entirely to the royal court, Reza Abbasi had a completely different approach. That is why he looked at his own art as a strong social media. And he portrayed the lives of ordinary people, such as this man who is sitting and that man who is trying to put on his boots and another boy is trying to help him out. Gold ink and triumphant poses of kings had no place in Reza Abbasi's then pop miniature paintings. Instead, he chose simple men and women in his illustrations, using black ink and rarely a few colors. Other items in the section include various antique miniatures and old illustrations and copies of the Book of Shahnameh, Ferdowsi's famous epic. The manuscript section has a number of rare old books and calligraphies that prepare visitors to take a step further into the collection of pre-Islamic and Islamic-era relics. This amazing piece of relic is called a Raitan. It is one of the most valuable objects on display at the Reza Abbasi Museum. It's made of pure gold and belongs to the Median era some 2,600 years ago. Raitans were considered as objects for drinking, and they usually depicted the head of an animal or a deity that symbolized strength and courage. People believed that if they drank through the Raitan, the power of that creature would be transferred to them. This one resembles the head of a ram, and it clearly indicates how strong and advanced goldsmithing was during the Median era.
اینکه شما می‌بینید مجموعه آثارش خیلی سالمه، اینه که تمامی آثار مجموعه ما از مجموعه داران خریداری شده. ما توی موزمون هیچ چیزی از حفاری نداریم، مثل موزه ملی، موزه ایران باستان که از سایت‌های تاریخی میاد.
Beautiful, isn't it? One of the interesting facts that you may come across in the ancient department of this museum is that how fashionable Iranians had been even during the ancient times. They paid a lot of attention to their lifestyle. That's why people from different social classes always tried to use items in their lives that were beautiful, handy, and artistic at the same time. The conservation department in the museum is in charge of putting these tiny bits and pieces together that are either brought in from the museum's treasury and prepared for future display or from several archaeological sites across Tehran city. Here, experts use science and art combined in order to revive a part of this country's history. Every once in a while, the museum unveils new objects aimed at adding more variety to the collections on display, and most of the preparation takes place at the restoration department. Over 10,000 Persian, English, French, and German books on ancient Persian art, history, and archaeology, as well as the history of Islamic art in Iran, are available at the museum's library. In the Islamic section, relics on display serve as a historical timeline for the evolution of art in Iran after Islam.
چنانچه توریستی بخواد در یک گذر 2 ساعته به طور جدی و تخصصی با انواع و اقسام اشیاء مرتبط به تاریخ هنر فرهنگ ایران آشنا بشه، موزه رضا عباسی پیشنهاد میشه.
What is very interesting is the different periods of Iranian art that are represented in this museum, and only highly priceless objects of the highest quality.
In one word, the museum is a reflection of how events unfolded and people's lives went on among the pages of history in this ancient land. TehranRezaAbbasiMuseum is a treasury that unveils some of the secrets behind the mysterious and unknown corners of Iran's history. A land that always welcomes its visitors with open arms. So if you ever travel to Iran, don't miss visiting this time tunnel. I'm Amir Mehdi Kazemi. See you in Iran.